Do you have those days? We all have those days where you feel like you're walking through quicksand. You can't get from point A to point B without someone stopping you and slowing you down and saying something that just pisses you off. Or something happens, you realize, oh, I forgot to do this, and now I'm going to have to do it, and it puts you in just a bad mood.
And you get the emails of like, where's this thing? And
Exactly.
then it's another email and another one.
For some reason, some of us handle pressure, I guess that's one way of putting it, better than others.
Yeah.
Or sad news or whatever. I don't do well. I tend to, just kind of stay home, lock the doors, and I don't pick up the phone. I don't look at email. I don't look at text. I just stay away. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
When you have those days. But Samantha, producer Sam, for some reason.
Hello.
You were different. You were wired differently.
Yep.
Where you could have all sorts of monkey dung flung at you. Don't you? Monkey dung flung at you. But you still seem to be, okay, we'll get it done. And you just keep marching on.
Yeah, I think so. I think I have two reasons for that. We're going to real talk right now? Let's real talk?
Real talk it.
Okay, so half of it is there was this study my mom put into my brain very young, and it's that people who are upset and deal with it by pretending they're not ultimately become more upset than they would have if they just accepted that something's wrong and I'm not happy about it.
Right.
So whenever I'm angry about something, I don't pretend that it's okay. I let whomever has to know right off the bat, not in a spiteful or evil way, whatever, this is why it's a problem. So I kind of accepted it a little bit, indulge in what it is.
Okay.
And then I stop because it's not productive to keep burrowing into it. And that's from grandma, because her famous saying is, be happy, insist upon it.
Ooh.
Wow, that's
because
very good.
if you
Love
don't,
that.
you won't be. It is just too
So being
easy.
happy is like a muscle you've got to continue to exercise.
Exactly.
So I think in what I just heard, what I'm getting from this is learning to let things go.
Yeah.
It's okay to have the initial sting of whoever pissed you off, but deal with it and move on.
Yeah.
Because my problem is I let it sit in there. It's like, for instance, I've talked about this on the show, and maybe you guys can agree with. Anyway, this happens with you and your friends or people you're dating. When Alex and I have an argument about something, it's like no, and then boom, he's like fine, and I just want to sit there and swim in it.
Yeah.
I'm like no.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is I think that I need for him to understand how I feel, that it was a bad fight about something really negative. He just moves on.
See, I'm Alex in my house because I'm the same way. I think I get that from my dad, where I'm just like, okay, we fought about it, so the next day or a couple hours later, we should be fine. And my husband is the opposite. He's you, Elvis. Same thing. He's like, sits and thinks about
Has
it.
to
and he
deal
goes,
with it.
Right. He has to deal with it first, and then we can move on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard. It's
Yeah.
easy to tell people to move on, but when it's your turn to move on.
Yeah, if I don't feel understood, that's different than like you, Elvis. I need to make sure that we both understand one another. But once that's happened, just put a positive effort into letting it go, because there's nothing else you're going to gain by just sitting in that poison in your stomach.
Is this Sandon?
Oh, Shandon, like Brandon. Hi, good morning.
Well, hi, good morning.
Morning.
So are you that person in your circle of friends who is always the lifter? You see people that are down and out, and you're like the one who tries to pick them up.
Yes, and nobody understands it. Like, they think I'm an alien because I had not such a great childhood, and I just had like a rough start. And no matter what, I'm always the one like, things could be worse, so don't wish bad stuff upon yourself, or it's bad, but just let it be bad today because the world's bad enough. Like, you don't have to ask for more sadness to be in your life. You should want to be, happy.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's how you survived your bad childhood. You had to come up with that life.
Didn't have a choice.
Viewpoint.
Right?
Yes, exactly. And I don't think it was like, I know it was bad, but I don't think it was that bad. 'Cause, things could always be worse.
Right.
Like, you never want it to be worse than it is. So just be happy with what you have and try to make it better.
God, we hear you saying that.
So excited you guys talk.
Well, as we are, and guess what? You're actually we're excited to have you here because you're giving us a great perspective.
Yeah.
We hear from everyone say, "Hey, when you wake up in the morning, if the world is crap, it's up to you on how you handle it." It really is. It's never about a problem. It's about how you handle the problem or how you deal with it.
Exactly.
It's so easy to hear those words, but it's more difficult to actually live that way
It's
for
a
some
practice.
reason. Yeah.
I mean, because it's like if you don't live that way, you're asking to be sad. And then, like, when you watch the news and it's always sad stuff, you should want to be a positive person in it because that's the only way anything will change.
There you
to
go.
be, more positive.
Yep.
Oh my God, I cannot believe you guys called me. I called you guys to try to be the first caller when I was in labor like 2 months ago.
Oh,
wow.
See, even having a baby isn't good enough to be the first caller today. Well, hey, wait, you were in labor. How's it going, Mommy?
Oh, don't you hear him coughing in the background? He's sick, but whatever, he needs to get his immune system up.
Oh my God, I love her.
Oh my gosh, you're the best.
Wow.
Well, Sandon, thank you very much. And you know what? And your friends and your family, they're very, very, very fortunate to have you in their lives because you sound like a really great person to have as a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Can I
you.
get a T-shirt?
You can have whatever you want. Hold
Yeah,
on one
you-
second.
yeah.
Send her whatever she wants.
Aw.
I want her to be my friend.
Send to Bethany.
Alex,
Yes.
what's going on?
So I texted in that my mom always told me that I should try to force a smile when I was unhappy because eventually your emotions would catch up. And if you try to have that positive cadence to your voice, eventually your feelings really do follow most of the time, and unless you're going through something horrible.
Eventually, your emotions will catch up with your face.
Yeah.
You'll be all good.
It's kind of like my favorite photos of groups of people are when everyone is laughing.
Yeah.
And so if I'm taking a picture of a group, I'll say, everybody pretend to laugh. And when they do, eventually the pretend laughter turns into real laughter and you get the best picture. And it's sort of a lesson in life.
I don't know. I have this.
Totally
I
true.
have two smiles. I have my real smile, and I have the smile that I put on when I'm really pissed off. You'll see it right here. I'll do this. Someone will do something, and I'll do this. I'll go.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
It's the raised eyebrow
Yeah, that's
smile.
not
Yeah,
nice.
it doesn't make sense.
I don't like that one.
But you know what? So I guess, smiling, like Alex and like your mom said, smiling is like the first step to hopefully pulling you out of a ditch. It may do it. It may do it. All right. Listen, thank you so much. Have a great day today, okay?
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
But Sam, we all agree. We took a vote. We vote you to be the most positive person in our lives, and we thank you for bring it in here.
All right.
Spreading it around like
We
glitter.
love you.
I spread stuff all over the place.
Yes, you do.
Don't tell your boyfriend.
That you do. What's scary?
See, I curb and bottle up my anger. I barely show it ever. And I just figure I'll sleep it off. And then I wake up and I'm happy again because I forget it. I'm like a goldfish.
You really are.
Yeah.
I envy that about you because you are able to so quickly let things go.
Yeah.
But I do
Right.
think that someday, as my mom says, it's going to come out sideways.
No.
And then they'll
Yeah,
just
well,
sit off.
Scary's one of those people. If he's really upset about something, then I know it's really bad,
Yep.
and there needs to be some type of reaction.
There you go.
I
And
think
you know
it's sorry.
No, go ahead.
A positive and a negative. Because my dad will do this, the same thing. He will walk into another room and come back and have forgotten the fight. And my mom says sometimes it's great and sometimes it drives her nuts because then you don't address the problem because he's already on to the next thing.
But we're sitting here, and you said something, and I used to think that, Bethany, that maybe eventually, Scary not getting mad at things he's going to explode.
Yeah.
I truly am starting to believe that he really isn't all that mad to begin with. I think he gets upset and just moves on. I really don't. I don't think he's festering at all.
I can let it go. I know a lot of people that just let it go.
First of all, Scary.
Elsa?
He doesn't hear 3/4 of the things said anyway.
Right.
because he's-
He's texting.
And I'm not saying that to be mean, but you really don't pay attention. And maybe that's the secret in life.
Yeah.
Just don't pay attention.
I'm not explosive. Now, Greg T, on the other hand, forget it.
Oh,
I'm not
forget it.
going anywhere near that guy.
I am dealing with it. I am dealing with it.
Oh my God.
It's little at a time.
Look how he says it with that
We're
smile.
eventually going to get there.
As long as it's a work in progress.
That's right. That's it.
But
Work in progress.
I don't know if Scary is ever going to explode. I think at the very beginning, I think he doesn't look at problems as we do. I think we look at them as these monumental mountains we have to climb.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, that sucks. And then just kind of moves on.
That's
I'm not
true.
making a mountain out of a molehill.
All right.
No.
All right. Well, Sam, thank you so much for being so positive.
I love you
And
guys.
Greg T, thank you for continuing to work on it.
That's right.
We
You
balance
need
each other
people like
out.
me. Yeah, you need people like me to work at it little at a time.
One more call from Beth. Hello, Beth. What's going on as we move on?
Hi, Elvis and everyone.
Thank you for listening to us. So what are you thinking?
Oh, usually leave for work later, and I left earlier this morning, and I heard Sam, and I think it was like fate because I just went through a divorce and the worst pulling the rug out from under me, and I heard her, and it reminded me of, I have a choice. I can go to work and say, oh, my night was awful, I'm suffering, I'm depressed, or I can insist on happiness. And you don't know what you guys did for me. I mean, every day. But, guys, I called you back a few years ago when my sister was in Israel. There was a war going on, and you guys I love you to death, and Danielle and Bethany and everybody, and Nate. I'm from Erie also, but I love you guys. Like, you are my every morning ritual. So
thank you, Beth.
But today, God, I love you guys. Today, I can't believe that it came at such a perfect time that I needed it. I mean, I'm going to cancel my therapist appointment.
Don't do that, because therapy is the best thing ever. You get to talk about yourself for an hour, and you don't have to listen to what they have to talk about themselves.
Well, wait, I'll take her copay. Hello. Oh, you know what? But wait, hold on. But Beth, keep in mind, and tomorrow morning we may not say these words, but you're still going to have to live them. So you've got to find a way to like re-enter this thought process before, on days we're not here.
Yeah.
When we're telling fart jokes, you know what I'm saying?
Crying. You are amazing.
You're going to have a great day, Beth. Thank you for listening to
We
us.
love you, Beth.
Thank you. There you go. There you go. Oh, stop the awe.
We like Beth.
Beth is
Love
fantastic.
Sam.